Data is very important for the sake of the country as well as for international affairs. In the country, we collect data so that data can give us results to see which program has performed better and which one didn't perform well. We have a set of indicators where we look at indicators specifically and see which indicators are doing well and which one are not doing well. But also data is the means of communication with the international partners. Data collection started even before independence. But after independence, there was data across each programs. So we find it very difficult to monitor services until when we came up with the health information system. But the first data collection tools before the HIS, the challenges we had was that there were numbers of tools in each department.
Kulikuwa hatuna system inayoeleweka ya ukusanyaji wa takwimu. Kulikuwa na mfumo wa kuchukua taarifa kwa kota. Ilikuwa yani unapata taarifa ambazo sio nzuri au chache, wengine hawakuwa wanaona umuhimu wa kuregister. As a result, there was double counting, there was multiple registration. Before DHIS2, we used to have HMIS software. We didn't have backup systems to save our data. So once the computer collapsed, you are done. Data collection was done at the facility level using registers. And then at the end of the month, they receipt to do compilation of summary form. And this form were done on quarterly basis. So they will spend maybe a week sitting, hibernated somewhere to make aggregate before they send us to the national level. It was tedious because first of all, we get a district report, but you cannot know how many facilities reported because they will just make summary.
10 years ago, the Ministry of Health decided to digitalize its health management information systems, and members of HIS Tanzania took part in that particular initiative by revamping the data collection tools which were there, but also introducing a new software called DHIS2.
DHIS2 started in 2008 when the need was raised by the Ministry of Health and the different stakeholders supporting the Ministry of Health to have a system that would integrate all other fragmented systems and have a one-stop center for data collection and management. And we therefore popped in because of our having the DHIS2 with our relationship with the University of Oslo.
The first approach from University of Dar es Salaam, supported by Oslo University, they started a pilot in two regions, the Pwani region and the Kagera region. And the government dedicated these two regions for them to do pilot and then inform the government. In year 2009, the UDSM also come with Oslo to present now the customized DHIS2, which was a web-based software. So when we present to the management in the ministry, everyone was attracted with the new system. That's where the government decided now to adapt to DHIS2.
DHIS2 is a system which involves different stakeholders. It involves mainly the Ministry of Health with its health programs, for example, HIV, malaria, TB, but also it involves implementing partners, for example, CHI, PATH, and etc. It also involves donors, but it also involves technical wings, for example, HISP Tanzania and UDSM, where they provide technical support.
In order for you to be able to do a more holistic data analysis, you need data from another systems like logistics, human resources, budgeting and planning. So that calls for integration of data between these other systems in the health sector with DHIS2, so that data and information users can be able to analyze all the data in one platform and be able to get the right answers for the questions that may arise while they're analyzing their data.
DHIS2 provide data for decision making and planning. And the data is an engine to improve health services, because that data, they cannot improve the services. They cannot know what the status, they cannot see resources are needed, so therefore they cannot see improved health system.
We started the actual implementation in the year 2013, and by end of year 2014, the rollout were done countrywide.
Some of the hindrances which we faced during the rollout of DHIS2 in Tanzania was coordinating different stakeholders and partners. The good thing is the Ministry of Health was leading the process and owned the process, so it was easier to coordinate different partners. However, there were also other technical, I would say, or ICT challenges in terms of introducing new system into the country. This means there is culture change in terms of people using different system. Now you're introducing a new system, so that culture shift also were kind of a hindrance in the rollout of the system.
First of all, the software was new, so there was a need to orient people on how to use the software. So in the beginning, trainings were about the basics on how to use the software, which was also made a little bit difficult because of the low understanding or low level of ICT literacy. But then the later trainings were a bit lighter in terms of ICT literacy, and people were much more focusing on the content of the software itself. So these trainings were first of all about data collection, so people can manage how they can collect data. But then we advanced into making sure that they can process their data, issues like data quality and reporting. And now we are focusing on the different innovations that are put into the existing platforms. And we do hope that these trainings will always continue because different innovations are being introduced into the system.
And the benefits we see now, such as the rollout and the national scale of DHIS2 across the country, including, adding health programs data into the DHIS2 so that we have a central repository data for stakeholders, the Ministry of Health and other implementing partners to access this information.
Kwa kweli tumeona mbele yetu au hata sasa hivi baada ya mfumo kuimarika, vituo vimeweza kutumia data zao wenyewe, vituo vimeweza kuingiza data zao wenyewe, vituo vinajua kumiliki data zao wenyewe na hata kuanalyze data na kutumia kwenye mipango yao.
We see at least 1,000 logins of users every day, at least 4,000 users log in every week, and 6,000 users every month. This is a unique count of users. The traffic is very high. We get at over 50,000 hits every month. And by practice, users logging at least twice or 3 times every week, spending 5 to 10 minutes of a session every login that they do into the system.
Currently, our budget speech data is generated through DHIS2. Most of data are coming from DHIS2. We have agreement with our supporting partners through the HISP Basket Fund. So they give contribution using the criteria of DHIS2 performance. Our partners who support the country will rely to verify the value for money using DHIS2.
DHIS2 is vastly being used in Tanzania by the Ministry of Health and its stakeholders. For example, DHIS2 is being used across more than 180 district councils in Tanzania. With more than 3 to 4 people trained to use this DHIS2 in these district councils.
To make sure that we adapt the coming technologies so that data is collected for use and not just for reporting. So it is my expectation in the future that data will be used accurately at the facility level, at the council level, regional level up to the national level.